Ever feel like your workday could run a bit smoother? Let's face it, we've all been there. The clock is ticking, your to-do list seems endless, and you can't help but think, there's got to be a more efficient way to do this. That's where the concept of workflow efficiency comes into play. Whether you're part of a bustling organization or a one-man show, workflow efficiency is the backbone of productivity. It's all about getting more done, in less time, and with fewer resources. But how do you achieve that? Enter process mapping. This is a powerful tool that lets you visualize your workflow step by step. It helps you identify bottlenecks, those pesky areas where tasks pile up and slow everything down. It also uncovers opportunities for improvement, so you can streamline your process and get things moving at a brisker pace. Process mapping, as simple as it sounds, could be your game changer. But what exactly is it? Picture this, a visual representation of your entire workflow, every step of it. That's process mapping for you. What a spectacle, right? But let's take a step back and break it down. Process mapping, in its simplest form, is like a roadmap for your work. It's a detailed diagram of the journey your tasks take from start to finish. Imagine you're planning a road trip. You wouldn't just jump in the car and start driving, would you? No, you'd plot out your route, decide where to stop for gas, and maybe even plan where to grab a bite to eat. That's exactly what process mapping is all about. It involves detailing each step in a process, figuring out who's responsible for what, and determining how long each step should take. It's like your personal GPS for productivity. Sounds good, right? But how do you create one? Creating a process map might seem daunting, but it's pretty straightforward. Let's break it down into digestible steps, shall we? First, identify the process that needs mapping. This could be anything from your morning routine to the workflow in a multinational corporation. Remember, no process is too big or too small for a map. Next, gather information about each step. Dive deep into the nitty-gritty. What happens first, second, third? Who is involved? What resources are used? This step is all about the details, so don't be shy about getting granular. Once you have all the information, it's time to create a draft. This is where the real fun begins. Sketch out your process step by step, using arrows, boxes, or whatever shapes take your fancy. Don't worry about making it perfect. This is just your first draft. Now it's time to refine. Look at your draft with a critical eye. Are there steps that could be combined? Are there any bottlenecks? Is anything missing? This is your chance to streamline and optimize. Importantly, involve everyone who participates in the process. Their insights and perspectives can provide a more comprehensive map. After all, many minds are better than one. And voila! You now have a visual guide to your workflow. But why does this matter? So you've got a process map. What's next? Let's recap. Process mapping is your secret weapon to combat inefficiencies, streamline operations, and foster better communication within your team. It's like having a magnifying glass for your workflow, highlighting areas for improvement you never knew existed. Ultimately, it's about increasing productivity, working smarter, not harder. So remember, the power of process mapping lies in its simplicity and its potential for transformative results. Process mapping, a simple tool with powerful results. Time to map your way to efficiency.